Welcome, everyone, to the Tethys Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Yard Master, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today we're taking a look at our next Wars boat, the Venator-Class Star Destroyer.
The Venator, designed by everyone's favorite designer, Lessa. I think it was Lessa. Actually, yes, it was Lyra Blessex. Sorry. I was playing Resident Evil a little while back, and there was a Lessa there. Was designed as a jack-of-all-trades warship for the Republic Navy. Very quickly designed. There were two original models. Well, two models. One that did not have the side hangar bays, as seen here, and a dominant model that did. Mostly because this vessel has one role and one role only.
It is a massive fighter base. See, aside from those two side hangars that you see, there's the standard Star Destroyer hangar on the bottom, and that red stripe along the top, that opens up. That whole forward section is basically one large flight deck.
Which is both its strength and its weakness. While that is certainly very thick armor plating, well, if something gets through, and something will, it's gonna crack the ship in two.
Yeah.
HMS Hood, anyone?
Yeah. On the flip side, it has two command centers on the top.
One is a standard navigation bridge, because every ship needs a navigation bridge, whether you like it or not. That's a necessity, which is why I don't have a particular problem with Imperial Star Destroyers. Just put the actual CIC deeper in the ship.
Yeah.
While the other tower is an ATC, an Air Traffic Control Center, though roles can be switched per ship, and how they can even take over for one another if the other is damaged in some way. Say, communications are screwed on one tower, while navigation is screwed on the other.
They can swap.
Exactly. Now, according to Disney, all of these particular ships were scrapped, or very rarely turned into training ships, which is just plain dumb.
Yeah.
These vessels were probably put into dockyards, refurbished, or just put into storage, because, well, despite the fact that it is lightly armed for a Star Destroyer, it is still incredibly useful.
Indeed.
And now to get into something that is also lore relevant. This is one of the few ships that has a wattage, a power output. Now, I've run the number, and, well, it's not going to end well for Wars fans.
Apologies in advance. We are just the messenger.
So, its peak output is 3.6 times 10 by 24th power. Translation for those who just want flat numbers: 3,686.4 watts. Per second.
That is not a lot.
Especially when compared to its closest counterpart in terms of size. In fact, I'm gonna pause the vid just to show its closest equivalent. the Ambassador-Class. Now, all of you are gonna probably be very, very angry for me saying this, but we're just quoting the sources. Now, in True Q, which, admittedly, involves a Galaxy-class starship.
I'm still seeing
Take,
the
it's
Venator.
fine. It's alright. Let me finish.
Okay.
Which involves a Galaxy-class starship. Data actually says... In fact, I'm gonna play the clip.
Area. We can access over here is the Jeffries tube,
where most of the major conduits are routed.
Okay.
Alright, it's playing on my front, Sake, so...
Hard to imagine how much energy is harnessed in there.
Imagination is not necessary. The scale is readily quantifiable. We are presently generating 12.75 billion gigawatts per...
12.7 billion gigawatts per second. Now, this could... Now, he never finished, however... Well... I think you can do the math. Whether it's per minute or per second, I don't think it matters.
Yeah. Comparing that with the Venator, that's...
You can see why Trek boats kinda take the edge in power generation. Now, we are being fair and giving them a chance.
But the Venator's power output rating, either it's really efficient or it just sucks.
And this applies to pretty much every vessel in the every war's fleet, from the Millennium Falcon to my personal favorite, the Executor-Class Star Dreadnought. But firepower is not what this ship is known for. What it is known for is its wing of fighters, which we are going to have to stat at some point. However, we want to get at least some capital ships done. Perhaps even some super capital ships. Hint, hint, Executor-Class.
Yeah.
Now, that all the lore is out of the way, it's time to stat this thing.
Which is fairly easy because basically we just modify some stuff from the Victory. It's basically the same. It's sort of the same thing, just a few differences. We've adapted. We've dropped the weapons down from 9 to 7 and put a point each into structure and comms. So the total values for the Venator are comms 9, computers 8, engines 6, sensors 9, structure 9, weapons 7. Department values, pretty much the same thing, I think. 1 point in command, 1 point in security, 1 point in engineering.
I don't see any reason to change it. Both can serve as flagships of a fleet if they need to.
Yeah. And Scale 7 Starship, again. Weapons values are a weapons list is medium turbo lasers, light turbo lasers, ion cannons, laser cannons, strength 6 tractor beam. No missiles. It has 3 instances of extensive hangar bays and 1 instance of secondary reactors for extra power gen. And it has the standard Wars special rules, FTL propulsion system, hyperdrive, and deflector screens. Special rules, Republic Starship, Imperial Starship, predecessor. Because
maybe that's why warships have that problem. They don't have the power to generate both for long durations of time, while Trek ships, well, what was that number again? 12.7 billion gigawatts.
Yeah.
I think that puts every single starship at tier 2 on the Karman scale, whatever it's called. The Kardashev scale. Because
Right.
they produce that much power.
Yeah. And once again, I must put in the disclaimer. This stat block is for crossing over Star Wars with Star Trek using Star Trek Adventures only. If you want to do a Star Wars game, Fantasy Flight Games came up with a very good system, and they even included a couple of source books for Clone Wars content if you want to do that. So,
We're not doing this to be insulting. We like these ships. It's just... Do we have a choice but to just quote the source material?
yeah. We are just the messengers. You do not shoot the messengers, people.
Go shoot Lucasfilm.
Yeah, go shoot Lucasfilm, go shoot Disney.
Anyone but us. Because we're just quoting from them.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.